Hello and welcome to all you Pisceans. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for May 2015. This is one of the most, I think, for the mutable signs, and you're one of them, one of the most interesting months. And it's a challenge though, but the rewards will come next month around, let's say, the second week of June. Now, why is this such a challenging month for you Pisceans? Because you are going to find your priorities. And why is that? There are a couple of things going on. Main things is that Saturn is squaring up to Neptune again. And it will be there for quite a while. But every now and then, faster planets like Mercury, personal planets, the Sun, Mars, they all are going to trigger that Saturn-Neptune square. And this is all about finding your priorities, probably when it comes to work. And probably for some of you, when it comes to other key areas of your life, which is you, which is your relationships. So you, that's the first house, you're having Neptune there. The seventh house, your relationships, the fourth house, your core, your identity, your home, your family life, and then the 10th house, your work, your contribution, you could say, to society. Now, the square between Saturn and Neptune, so Saturn is reality, hard work, focus, commitment, and Neptune is your dreams and visions. And that's where the challenge is going on. So whenever you have, what is happening now is actually a T-square. And a T-square is there to give you a paradox. And the paradox is there not to be resolved all of a sudden. A paradox is always a process. It's a process of pushing yourself towards the truth, pushing yourself towards, in this case, what is your priority in life? What is your priority? What do you want? And it's through the process of, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I should think. So it's Mars and the Sun. This is all about the way that you act. And it's also Mercury triggered here. Mercury is the planet of thinking. So you will not have the clearest view. And the view, I always think when I see Saturn and Neptune together with a personal planet, it's a bit like a manic depressed person. The one day you can see it, you can feel it, you see all the possibilities, and you see where you're heading at, and you have all the optimism of the world. But then the next day it's Saturn. You see like this whole mountain, and you don't know how to process. So it's a bit of ups and downs there. But the ups and downs are there to find your priority. And it's very human, typical human-like, I think, that when people need to find quality, when they need to find, and I think it has to do with especially with your work, because that is where Saturn is. And Saturn defines, so all the Pisceans now are being defined, are being finding their individuality through work, through what they do. And even if you were, not working anymore, through what you do for the society, what you contribute in society. And that can be that a price needs to be paid here. That can be that you need to well, I remember when Saturn went through my 10th house of work, I had at the time 3 different jobs. And I felt that I had to choose. I felt that I had to make my priority. But it's a difficult thing because you think it's very important. And that's why the confusion may be there. That's why you don't know it yet. But it will come, as I said, next month. So take advantage of the not knowing. And the advantage is of thinking about all those different things. And therefore you will know it, but take your time, don't rush into this. And with me it was a case that what was the least income was actually the most important. I had to cut off all the other jobs that I did. It doesn't mean to say for you it's going to be that way. It could be for you that you have no job at all and that you need to find that one very important job that you are ready to commit yourself to. And it's always better that you can choose instead of you just wait and you just let circumstances take over. I think it's always better, but in some cases circumstances will take over. So Saturn is, I truly believe that Saturn only keeps what is important for you, only keeps what is very much aligned with you. And this is the process that you're going through, because don't forget, you've got Neptune in your sign. And especially those, I see a lot of people who've got planets between 0 and 5 degrees of, 0 and 10 degrees of Pisces. And they have the Neptune on their sun sign, or especially on their ascendant, and they really don't know where to go. They have all the opportunities, and Pisces like that. You are ruled by Jupiter, just like the Sagittarians. So that's why Pisces people are very multifaceted. They can do a bit of everything. But that's just a trick here. What are you going to... You can't do everything anymore. You can't be and a nurse and a banker and an astrologer at the same time. So it's just some stupid examples, but anyway. So, and this whole process is also activated by Mercury and retrograde. So Mercury is a planet of communication, is a planet of thinking, and it's going retrograde in your 4th house. So in your family area, you could say. So what does it mean? It means that this might be the trigger through discussions, through frustrations at home. Maybe your loved one is saying you're working too much. That's the Saturn in the 10th house. Or it's maybe the other way around. Maybe they're saying you're not working at all and you should. So it's that equilibrium that is a bit lost there. Because that's the 4 to the 10th house. There is an opposition. It always means you must find your equilibrium again. So it's not a bad thing at all. On the contrary, it's a very important time, because whenever there is so much activity in your key houses, it means that you better be aware of this energy in order for you to be able to make the good choices. And that's what you're doing. That's why you might not know now exactly what to choose when it comes to direction, when it comes to your family life. So with the Neptune in your 1st house, it might be a bit tricky. It might be a bit tricky also in relationships. That other people, because the ruler of the 7th house is Mercury, and that is in the 4th house where all this frustration is going on. So maybe that other people is trying to figure you out, but it's not easy for them. So try to communicate, try to make them understand that it's confusing for you as well, and why you are making this a very important time, because you want to make a good decision. And therefore you need to close the door every now and then in order for you to be open again, or to open the door in order for you to be able to close it again. This is really, really important with all this Saturn stuff going on with you, for all the mutable signs actually. And you will find your way, absolutely. Saturn will do that, will give that reward to you. It's not going to be, I don't think it's not going to be in the month of May. It probably will be, as I said, a bit later on in June. So, another thing that is important here is Caput Algol. That is a fixed star, Caput Algol. And I only mention this when I see a lot of activity around that fixed star. And there has been a lot of activity, and still. Mercury, Mars, again, the same planets all went over that point of Caput Algol. And that is, Caput Algol is at 26 degrees of Taurus. It's going to be at the 18th of the month, a new moon. So the sun will be conjunct the moon and will be on Caput Algol. Now, what does it mean? Now, Taurus is your ninth, what am I saying? Not your ninth house, sorry, it's your third house. So it's again a house of rational thinking. Now, be aware that when you feel like you can't be thinking rational anymore, just let it be what it is. You're not thinking rational. And because Caput Algol is a fixed star of you're not seeing it and you're confused. That's basically it. But if you know that you are confused, it's not that bad, is it? You just say, okay, I'm not going to take the most important decisions in my life now. I'm going to wait it out a little bit when I see a bit more clear. And that's only around the 18th. But it goes along with the Mercury retrograde in your fourth house. So there's also things to be sorted out in the home area. Could be very simple. It could be that you need to do something, you need to fix something in the home, you need to repaint, you need to whatever. You need to do things because there's a lot of energy there, and you can do that. And it will improve maybe how you need to find your priority with work. So, but don't let yourself drawn into your own drama, you could say, especially around the 18th, because again, with the Caput Algol, I'm repeating myself. So it's a very interesting month for you Pisceans. It's so interesting and so good to see that a lot of Pisceans are really, really redefining themselves, their identity through their work. And and they're getting there, but it's a bit of a process. So keep going, but not too fast. That's, I think, my humble opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next month. Bye bye.